Happy Friday. The weekend is here. That means it's time to whoop it up. But not before we hit on our recent Bravo topic. So come on, sit down. We are going to talk about last night's episode of Real Housewives of Orange County because baby Gretchen herself is back. She is officially back on Bravo's roster and their payroll, and I couldn't be happier for her. We're also going to talk about the really troubling update in the Denise Richards and Aaron divorce situation, and also going to talk about Tom Girardi, whose final days as a free man were like yesterday because he just turned himself into prison. So, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about on this Friday, July 18th, 2025. So, come on, come all. Yes, and sit down and let's kiki. I hope your week was lovely, and I hope you have something fun planned for this weekend. You have to let me know what you got going on. So let's start. Real Housewives of Orange County. Did you watch last night? Let me know. Gretchen is back, and she did not miss a beat, okay? And look, obviously, I'm a little biased. Hello, it's me. But it was just a little funny to watch. Baby, thank God that that seat that Tamra was sitting in had to be extra wide because she was scrambling all over it. She was all in her seat as Gretchen was making her way in, into that group scene where with Katie's lunch, and Gretchen was completely unbothered. So I just love that Gretchen was able to, and this is, you have to give her credit. Like, a lot of people are, there's this whole narrative of housewives that are let go from the show. It's like, oh, they just want to come back. They want to come back. It's like Gretchen was gone for 10 years. I choose to believe this time they talked to her probably wasn't the first time they've had conversations. And so I commend her. I think that she did the best and held out till she felt the time was right. And she went in with all the confidence in the world, and it showed. And she stood her ground, and I'm kudos. And I'm curious to see what the ratings are. I hope that viewership is up from last week's premiere a little bit, and hope that nod in numbers is credited to nostalgia, as I always say, because we love a familiar face in this franchise. Okay, that's just the case. That's how it is. So, and let's see, I'm hoping that season 20 welcomes my girl back in for the ultimate nostalgia, to celebrate the 20th season. I hope that Vicky is welcome back, and I think that depending on how it goes with Gretchen and all that this season, it will make sense whether it's the creative path forward or not, to incorporate some familiar faces or to go all new, So let's also talk about Katie. Sweet, poor Katie, I think, maybe. I like Katie. I never got to meet Katie. I was supposed to meet her the last time I was in OC for Vicky's boyfriend's birthday party. She wasn't able to make it though. I've always had pleasant interactions with her, so it's really like, I hate seeing, number one, them come for her the way that they do, but then also for them to come for her on the grounds of which they are, talking about the lies and really just messy stuff behind the scenes, like, obviously we love mess, it's the Housewives, but Tamra alleged that Katie at last season's title card shoot was recording video of Shannon, who was having a bad day and kind of, freaking out, and was sharing it and sending it to Alexis, who, if you remember, at that time was obviously and still is dating Johnny J, but at that time Johnny J was suing Shannon. And so that could have very much been evidence or something that was used against Shannon to further this narrative that they were trying to push about her. And it's interesting for two reasons. Number one is that Tamara's pockets run deep because she had that tucked in there, because she knew that for like over a year, and she hasn't said anything until she needed it. So I'll give credit where credit's due. Not to say that it's the morally correct thing to do, or, you know, morally superior thing to do. But maybe she did what she had to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, she held that card and played it the exact moment she needed it, you know. I also, it doesn't feel aligned with Katie to me to do something like that. Like, that is so, like, messy, you know. Like, even against someone like a housewife that I don't like, if it were like, not I love Shannon, I'm saying if it were a housewife that I didn't like, I would still be like, oh, don't do that. Like, that's just not. Also, why are we filming anything? That is what this beautiful, wonderful, talented production crew is for. Y'all got cameras around 24/7. The last thing we need is the iPhone 16 with the finger blur, you know, smeared from some makeup earlier, trying to capture something. Everybody here has a job. Yours is to be on camera, not behind it. So let's not do that. But then you got to think too. Tamra recently, premiere week, was on Watch What Happens Live and posted photos that Katie sent her flowers. So Tamra has kept this in her back pocket, threw it out on the table against Katie, obviously because she thinks it's a problem. But now they're seemingly buddy-buddy, which means that they have either forgiven each other or just agreed that they don't care that the other one did some messy stuff and they just want to be messy Melissas together. Which one do you think it is? It's very layered and very confusing to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but it's clearly going to be a rough season for Katie. I was talking to Vicky earlier. I was like, we're 2 episodes in and they've exposed like they've accused her of 2 big lies. Like, if I were Katie, I showing up would be hard at this point, whether I was innocent or guilty, because you can already tell what's going to happen before you get there. You know what I mean? And that's not a fun situation to be in. So, in the words of Mary Cosby, there's a lot going on because, you know, like Gretchen's back. We got Gretchen and Tamra. Then we got Tamra accusing Katie of this. And so it's like, is that going to help Tamra and Shannon be friends again? I hope not. Like, that's, you know, it's a whole mess of potential scenarios that stress me out to think about. You know what I'm saying? So God be with us all, because I already am feeling a little anxiety about it, and we are in week 2 of probably week 100. So should be fine. Go us. This is what we signed up for. This is what we love, right? We love stressing over these women who are making $500,000 to $1 million a season to get into mess, and we just sit at home, and the only thing that we get is, you know, an earlier death through all the stress on our poor hearts watching this stuff, and a high cable bill. Interesting how life works, you know? Also, going to transition to the Denise Richards divorce situation. Horrible. Came out this week. She's, you know, firing back against Aaron and being very, very strong and sharing her experiences with him as it is related to abuse and violence. And number one, there's just so many layers to this, because we know, like, his family lived there with her, I believe. And, you know, we've seen him say questionable things on camera. And then there was the whole, you know, my friend, like, pointed out, like, God forbid this was why she was, you know, worried about the Brandy rumors and all that stuff a couple years ago. Just so many things that are just so sad to have, you know, now that it's all coming together and coming out for us, we're putting it together, is just so sad to think about. You know, I think you can say what you want about Denise, but I don't think there's really a bad thing to say. I think Denise is a nice lady. I think that she's a good mom. And I hope that Aaron don't get a damn penny from her. And I hope that she is able to heal and also get to a space like I hope that he's not able to like be near her and all this stuff. And also, you know, too, I mean, it's like makes me, I'm like, God, I'm sorry for out here being like, we want season two, we want season two. God, no, let this woman and her kids have some peace and privacy and get away from this guy. Now we know maybe why there wasn't a season two. There doesn't need to be if this is what's going on, you know? So just sending love to Denise, sending love to anybody that might be at home reading this situation and unfortunately resonate with it, you know, just horrible. So, you know, I again commend Denise for being brave and sending her and her daughters some love. And Aaron, you can choke. Tom Girardi is choking down some nasty prison food today. Speaking of choking, Tom Girardi turned himself into prison. Everybody, I don't know how that works when you're 86. Do you get to bring like your neck pillow when you're 86? It's like this thing has been put to work for almost a century. I gotta sleep a certain way. Work with me here, you know. Really, really, I don't want to say unfortunate because like he did really bad things to people. The whole situation is just unfortunate to have this facade and this image to be this person, and you're most certainly not that. And only it comes out at the very, very latter portion of your life where you now will likely wrap it up in a jail cell solo. But you know what? Probably should have thought about that before you were stealing these poor innocent people's money. But yes, Tom Girardi reported to prison to begin his 7-year prison sentence. He is 86. If Tom Girardi survives this prison sentence, you know, crazier things have happened, but I don't necessarily foresee that. Just crazy. He turned himself in. Let's see, he's the Metropolitan Detention Center in Los Angeles. Where is that at? He is inmate number 43156-510. Yeah. I wonder if it, like, are you the oldest man on the block at 86? Imagine being in there and like say that like your guy, like your roommate, cellmate gets released and y'all were cool. So now you got a new person coming in, right? And it's like, are they cool? Are they mean? Are they scary? What's going down? You know, will they like me? And then in is wheeled Tom. I would be like, do I get time off my sentence for helping take care of the elderly? I didn't know that we had signed up for, is that what the volunteer program is? Like, I can't imagine just the like technicalities around all of it. Like walking this old man to his cell, like teaching him the ways. Also, he's allegedly like not, he's suffering with like dementia. So it's, how does that even work in a prison system? Does he have a designated like caregiver? You know, I really don't know. And I wonder, I mean, we got to think, how is Erica feeling about all this? You know, and obviously I know she's moving on with her life, but, and this has been this whole thing has been going on for years now, it seems, but reporting to prison is like undoubtedly a mark in a big chapter in this book, unfortunate book for her. So I'm curious. I don't imagine she'll be going to see him or anything. Does he get money on his books? How does that work? I have so many questions now that we're talking about this. Probably think, and I'm fully aware, and ain't none of my business. But most good questions don't come from things that are none of our business. They come from us being nosy. So I'm doing what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? All right, gonna start wrapping up and look back and see what y'all have had to say. Let's see. Holly, hey Holly, how are you? KM, whoop whoop, happy Friday. Rita said, where's Vicky this week? Vicky is, last I saw, at the office. I don't know where and then she told me she's going to the desert this weekend. So that's where she's at. And we'll have a new episode out Tuesday. So be sure you're listening. KM, I cannot believe she has been gone 10 years. That is so crazy. She didn't miss a beat. 10 years. Like, that's crazy. And she did not miss it. She didn't miss a beat. Like, that scene of her walking in, in fact, I felt like she was like, let's get to it, baby. Like, I loved it. I love seeing her confidence walking in. Her little denim number was fabulous. Just really here for it. I think it was chef's kiss. Totally agree. Let's see. Lindsay, we need Vicky back. She needs to whip it up. I agree. KM, Katie is probably kissing Tamra's ass. We'll have to see how this season plays out. I mean, well, also, too, if both of them are alone on Scary Island and they need an ally, makes sense, you know? But we'll see. Holly said, hey, how are you? Hi, Holly. Where are you watching from? Doesn't matter the money. What Tamra did to Shannon is unforgivable. I agree, KM. Completely agree. I can't imagine her forgiving Tamra. I don't think she will either. I mean, I think forgiveness is for her. You know, I think you can forgive someone. That doesn't mean I have to sign up and risk it again. You know what I'm saying? Tamra thinks the season's going to be all right because she's going to therapy is what Holly said. Well, that first therapy session, that scene was a lot. KM, rest in peace to Tom. What a bummer way to die. But, oh, man, karma's not sleeping on anyone. No, it does not. Karma does not know an age limit, baby. It does not. Holly says she doubts Tom will get special treatment. I mean, he shouldn't. But also, I don't know, like, when there are medical things involved. Like, I mean, that might even be a special facility for inmates that have certain, medical needs, you know. I don't know. Let's see. Emily has her lips to Tamara's butt. Well, she can let us know how it tastes because I won't be finding out. All right. And we'll go into the weekend on that note. So, all right, everybody. Well, that makes another week of lives with y'all, my crew. Love y'all so much. Sorry we didn't get the Salt Lake City trailer this week. If you want me to fight somebody, send them my way. I'll knock them around for us. No, I'm just kidding. But that just gives us something else to look forward to next week. So hopefully we'll have it next week. And we have Atlanta reunion Sunday. We have Miami next week. We have OC next week. So it's busy. We're busy gals, you know. I hope that y'all have a wonderful, blessed weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. It really is the highlight of my week. 3 days a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3 right here on Herd App. Oh, you make my day too. Mwah. Thank you, Holly. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. I will talk to you Monday. Besos.